And welcome back to the Sawyer Center for another exciting night of Great American Conference basketball as SNU takes on Arkansas-Monticello. Crimson Storm come into tonight's game number 19 in the country, winners of 5 of their last 6 and looking to extend their home court winning streak in front of a white-hot, white-out crowd here tonight. White-out sponsored by our friends at U.S. Army, and we'll be speaking about them throughout the broadcast tonight. I'm Luke McConnell alongside Phil Younts. And Phil, SNU comes into tonight now 8-2 in conference play. They're second in the conference, tied with OBU, and coming off a huge week last week with a pair of road wins over the Bison and East Central. What's going right for SNU right now at this point in the year?
Oh, well, I think you're just seeing some really solid defense from this team. You know, looking at the last 2 games, holding OBU to 57 points and then East Central to 56. You're just seeing that great team defense that has really been the calling card for this Southern Nazarene University roster. You know, we know how explosive they can be on offense, how much athleticism they have, and how dangerous they can be in transition. But it's really that defense, that team defense, and especially that ability to just control the post with players down low like Noah Starkey just manning the middle and making it so difficult on other teams. So that ability to just continue to make life so difficult on opposing offenses is really what has carried the Storm team this season, and especially in these last couple of big conference games.
SNU number 3 in the conference in scoring defense, giving up just 68.2 points per game this season, and they're number 2 in field goal percentage defense, allowing opponents to shoot just 40.3%. And it would be impossible to talk about this team without talking about the play of Jonathan Dunn. He's number 4 in the conference in scoring, number 2 in steals, just doing a great job across the board throughout the season. And even when he is struggling from the field, so far in the 2019, since the calendar turned in January, he's shooting just 28.5% from three-point range. But an example of how he's just been doing it, a little bit of everything. Against Harding, 4 of 13 from the field, but also 5 assists and 5 steals to go along with that. Just trying to do the little things, and he really is what makes this offense go.
Absolutely, yeah. Just as you said, just trying to do the little things, finding different areas where you can make an impact is so important. Basketball is one of those games where you're not going to shoot 50% every single night. You're going to have off nights, and so the ability to find other ways to make an impact is so important, and we're seeing Jonathan Dunn do just that in the last few games, continuing to leave his mark night in and night out.
And for SNU, they're looking for other options as besides the big 3 of Micah Spate, Noah Starkey, and Dunn, as Logan Hicks, who's been a dependable player off the bench for SNU, just 3 of his last 28 three-point attempts going back into December. He's hit double figures just once since November and didn't play at all last week. RJ Palmer has been a huge help off the bench, 68.6% field goal shooting, and he's averaging almost 11 points per game here in January. But probably the biggest addition to this team has allowed other players to kind of get back in their roles been the return of Quaylen Newton, something that certainly was not expected by any of us. But he came back and scored 16 points in his second game back against Henderson State. He hasn't scored in double figures since, but in the time he's been back, he's averaging 5.7 points per game and 5.3 rebounds per game. What does his presence on the court allow everyone else on the roster to do?
Well, I think you said it exactly. It allows people to kind of fit back into the roles that they're comfortable in, kind of where they expected to be in. Quaylen Newton is just a leadership presence on this team. He's a senior leader, and everyone just kind of feeds off his energy. He's one of those spark plugs that you hear about. He just got that energy, that presence, that swagger that allows the rest of the SNU players to feed off of. And so whenever he's on the court and they are able to see that, it allows everyone else to just feel more comfortable, more confident, and more in control. And that's what a senior leader like him can do for a team like this.
Another big thing to watch for against ECU, senior Coleman Edwards, who has struggled from the field, especially from three-point range, his specialty, shooting just 31% from three-point range this year, but that includes a 4 of 6 showing from deep at ECU. last Saturday, and you wonder if that's going to be what breaks him out of his slump, and that would be huge for an SNU team that's just 10th in the conference in three-point shooting at 34% per game.
Yeah, that's something this team has certainly struggled with, is finding the rhythm. We've seen a little bit here and there different guys step into that role and be able to knock down threes, but there hasn't been that consistency from this team that we thought we might see come into this season. Just as you said, different guys like Jonathan Dunn struggling from deep right now, as well as Logan Hicks. And a lot of that comes to the difference in shooting at home and on the road. We've seen a lot of these guys really struggle on the road versus at home. So they do have the opportunity here back at the Sawyer Center to kind of try to refine that rhythm. But that is something that can certainly hinder this offense whenever they are not able to knock down their shots.
Again, SNU tied for second in the conference at 8-2. Arkansas-Monticello comes in at 6-4 in conference play. That's good for a tie for fifth with East Central. They have lost their last three ball games, and Monticello boasts an athletic team. They have two of the top 10 rebounders in the league in Darnell Wright and Keelan Jackson. And Wright also number 7 in field goal percentage and number 3 in blocks. So, Phil, as we tick down to under 30 seconds to go before tip time tonight, what do you want to see from SNU here against the Boll Weevils?
Well, you really want to just see that offense really get going. It's been a little up and down lately. And again, that part of that comes back to that shooting we were just talking about. But you really want to see some solid ball movement. That's really when this team is absolutely at their best and almost unstoppable. We've seen a lot of games early on where they would have, in the first half, something like 15 field goals made and 12 assists. And when you get that kind of ball movement, it's so difficult to stop. So you really want to see that ball movement and just allow so many different players to get involved. And when that happens, they are very difficult to beat.
We will step aside here and turn it over to the PA announcer as we meet the starting lineups for tonight's game between Arkansas-Monticello and SNU.
Featuring the visiting Weevils of the University of Arkansas-Monticello and your Southern Nazarene University Crimson Storm. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Weevils. Starting at guard, a 6'5" junior from Hueytown, Alabama. Number 1, Austin Hardy. Starting at guard, a 5'10" junior from Indianapolis, Indiana. Number 3, KJ LaSure. Starting at guard, a 6'5" senior from Clarksdale, Mississippi. Number 22, Keelan Jackson. Starting at forward, a 6'7" junior from Paris, Texas, number 24, Jordan Embry. And starting at forward, a 6'8" junior from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, number 25, Kwame McBee. The Weevils are head coached by Kyle Tolley. Starting lineup for your SNU Crimson Storm. Starting at guard, a 5'10" junior from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, number 3, Micah Spain. Starting at guard, a 6-foot senior from Mansfield, Texas, number 15, Zach Johnson. Starting at forward, a 6'3" senior from Bryan, Texas, number 22, Quinn Newton. Starting at guard, a 6'4" junior from San Antonio, Texas, number 25, Jonathan Dunn. And starting at center, 6'11" senior from Hutchinson, Kansas, number 32, Noah Starkey. In his 11th season at SNU, Crimson Storm head coach, Adam Bohach.
There you have the starting lineups for the Weevils and the Crimson Storm. Again, for Arkansas-Monticello, number 1, Austin Hardy. Number 3, KJ LaSure. Number 22, Keelan Jackson. Number 24, Jordan Embry. And number 25, Kwame McBean. For SNU, number 3, Micah Spate. Number 15, Zach Johnson. Johnson had the huge steal at the end of the game against OBU that sealed the win for SNU last Thursday. Number 22, Quaylen Newton. Number 25, Jonathan Dunn. And number 32, Noah Starkey round out the starting lineup for the Crimson Storm. So we are set to go here. The student sections are packed here at the Sawyer Center. First home game since the students have been back in town from Christmas break, and the energy is palpable here at the Sawyer Center as Embry wins the tip from Noah Starkey. And just a reminder, a huge game upcoming on Saturday between the Crimson Storm and Southern Arkansas, both teams ranked in the top 25. But before we get to Saturday, let's take care of Thursday as first shot is missed by Kwame McBean, and Zach Johnson with the rebound, and SNU will take over here on their first possession. Quick entry pass from Newton, a little bit over the head of Starkey, and that goes out of bounds.
It looked like a little miscommunication right there. Newton expecting Starkey to cut towards the middle, and Starkey was staying in his position that he had. Ball just kind of floats out of bounds.
An offensive foul called on McBean on the moving screen. And SNU will inbound on the sideline. Again, a great crowd on hand for tonight's White Hot, White Out, brought to you by U.S. Army. Big thanks to them for sponsoring tonight's atmosphere. And pretty cool to see most of the crowd in the white T-shirts, and SNU in their home whites as well. Dunn gets free for 3. Yes, sir.
That ability of Jonathan Dunn to create his own shots is incredible. The way he's just able to make one move, one little jab step, and free himself up and knock down the tray. Incredible job there, Jonathan Dunn.
Hardy trying to match with a 3 of his own. He's long. Rebound swatted by Embry, but Newton comes away with it. He'll take it in himself, lays it in with the left hand. It's no good. And McBean clears for the Weevils. Zach Johnson denies the baseline drive there. Keelan Jackson with it, guarded by Dunn. Now Embry on the baseline, backs down Newton. Just 5 on the shot clock now. Jackson forces up a three-pointer over Dunn and gets it to go.
Tough shot there from Jackson. Dunn played pretty well. Little late getting the hand up, but overall pretty great defense. Just a tough shot that Jackson was able to knock down.
Jackson leading the team with 102 attempts from three-point range, but just 26.5% so far this season. Starkey is doubled, turns over his right shoulder, and gets the hook shot to go.
Beautiful job there by Starkey again. Just that little hook shot is so tough to defend, and his strength to shield off the defense, it's almost unable to be defended, but he continues to show why.
Spate. Embry now for 3. It's long. Newton with the rebound. And Spate will push up court to Dunn. Thought about the corner 3. Now he'll take it. He'll miss it. And Embry tracks down the rebound for Monticello. Hardy with it, guarded by Zach Johnson. (5-3) SNU leads this one, 16:35 to go. First half, Johnson gets in there, knocks the ball away. We've got a jump ball as Hardy was laying on the ball that was between Zach Johnson
Nice quick hands there by Zach Johnson late in the shot clock, trying to make a move, and Zach Johnson just gets that hands in there and just strips it right out of those, drawing the jump ball.
RJ Palmer checks into the game for SNU. Quaylen Newton will take a seat. Newton still getting his legs back from under him after missing the first half of the season. Backdoor, Starkey lost it going up. Ball is deflected out of bounds and off of Starkey, and SNU with the turnover there. Good backdoor lob from Spade, but Starkey just got too excited.
And you could see the student section was pretty excited about that one too. They were ready to roar on that one, but unfortunately Starkey just could not quite get the handle.
LaSure has it knocked away by Spate. Embry pivots and is rejected by Starkey. Palmer tried to save it, but it was deflected out of bounds off of Palmer.
Well, he couldn't finish on one end, but Starkey gives the student section something to cheer about on that one with that big rejection on the defensive side.
So Monticello will maintain possession when we come back. 5-3 SNU with an early lead. 15:58 to go first half. This is SNU basketball. To the Sawyer Center, SNU with an early 2-point lead over Arkansas-Monticello. Monticello inbounding on the baseline, 13 seconds on the shot clock, and in front of a full lower bowl here at the Sawyer Center. Great crowd on hand. Again, first home game back with school in session for the Crimson Storm. Ball's deflected, but Hardy gets it back for Monticello. LaSure with it now, guarded tightly by Micah Spate. Embry has to force it up at the shot clock buzzer. It's no good, and Spate has the rebound for SNU. Spate cut off on the drive. Zach Johnson with it. Drives inside, bounce pass to Palmer. He corrals it, finds Starkey, goes up for the slam!
Great job by Palmer, just kind of looking back around and seeing Starkey wide open. He got that and threw it down hard.
Jackson pulls the trigger for three. It's short. We've got a foul. That's going to go against Austin Hardy. First foul on Monticello. Second foul on Monticello. First on Hardy. He will check out. Number 15, Marcus Gilbert into the game. 5'11 junior from Birmingham, Alabama. Transfer in from Southern Union State Community College. Coleman Edwards into the game for the first time for SNU. Zach Johnson will take a seat. Starkey finds Palmer, and he's hacked by Embry, and he'll go to the line for two.
Great find there by Starkey. So important for this SNU team. Their big men able to make passes, and that's been a key part, a key element to this offense this season, is making those tough passes down low, and the big men have been able to do that.
Palmer just a 56% free throw shooter, and he misses the first. Just 5 of his last 13 from the foul line before that miss. Palmer misses both of them, and foul does not do any damage for Monticello. It's still 7-3 SNU. 14:50 to go. Embry on the backdoor cut. Gets inside and lays it in for two.
A tough play down low, being able to get it over the bigger defenders, but strong finish.
SNU running a bit of a weave, trying to get it inside to Starkey. Spate will try a three. It's short. Palmer tracks down the offensive rebound. Reverse layup is no good. Rejected by McBean. He saves it, but he stepped on the sideline. And it will be SNU ball with 26 on the shot clock. Good hustle there from R.J. Palmer.
Yeah, right now you're seeing some tough defense there by the Bull Weevils, getting those hands up, making passes tough and making shots tough. Really playing some strong defense right now.
Number 20, Jared Embry into the game. The very clear and obvious twin of Jordan Embry. So we have twin Embrys on the court for Monticello. McBean will take a seat. Jonathan Dunn on the backdoor cut. Lays it in, and a beautiful pass there from R.J. Palmer.
Beautifully done. Perfectly timed, catching a driving Dunn in stride, and beautifully executed for the two.
Gilbert with it over to Jackson. Jackson will fire up another three. It's no good. Palmer goes high for the rebound. And gets it over to Spade, who quickly fires it up ahead to Edwards. Edwards, quick trigger for three. It's no good. Again, Edwards 4 for 6 against East Central on Saturday. His first game with multiple three-point makes this season. LeSure with it, hounded by Edwards. Terrific on-ball defense for the Crimson Storm so far in this one. Shore gets it down to Embry. Hook shot is no good, and Spate clears, nearly stepped out of bounds, but saved it into Palmer. Edwards open for long twos, no good, but Starkey is there for the tip in.
Great job by Starkey controlling the glass and getting a nice tip in. A tough shot there before that tip in. You know, those long twos, foot on the line. You don't really like to take those shots, but great job by Starkey being ready for that and being able to get him on the board anyway.
Jackson inside, puts it in over the outstretched arms of Starkey. Impressive drive from Keelan Jackson there.
Yeah, a bit off balance, but maintaining control to get that up and over the bigger Starkey and off the glass. Beautifully executed.
SNU 5 of 11 from the field to start this one. Dunn finds some space for three. It's long. And LeSure with the rebound. Lob up ahead to Embry, and it goes off his hands out of bounds. Substitutions coming in for both teams. Zach Johnson and Ashton Charles into the game. Spate and Starkey will take a seat. Hardy and McBean back into the game. Jackson and Jordan Embry will take a seat for the Weevils. Edwards controlling up top for SNU. Dunn doubled down on the baseline. Johnson has to hurry with 5 on the shot clock. Edwards, not aware. Palmer has to put it up. Did not get it off in time. And that's a shot clock violation. Just a smidge late on that one. And we've got a stoppage in play. 11:36 to go first half. SNU leading this one 11-7. And we'll be right back after this short break.
When a customer is on the fence about buying a car, we should...
Give him a hug.
No. Next.
And full frontal?
No.
No way.
Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
It's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since 1950.
This is where I use the skills I've learned. This is where the moments I love happen. This is where I grew up, and it's also where I serve.
In the U.S. Army Reserve, you train at least 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Here, you learn the skills to lead and succeed in life while staying close to home. Part-time service, full-time success. GoArmyReserve.com.
SNU leading by 4 here in the early goings at the Sawyer Center. 11-7, the Crimson Storm over the Weevils. And Phil, not a tremendous start either way offensively. Both teams 1 of 5 from three-point range. SNU just a smidge better at 41.7% overall from the floor.
Yeah, just as you said, been kind of a tough start. Both teams with 3 turnovers already. Playing both some great defense and a little bit of sloppy offense as well. So it'll be interesting to see which offense kind of finds a rhythm here through the later part of the first half.
LaSure, a three-pointer straight away, and he knocks it down. KJ LaSure, the team's leading three-point shooter, 41.3%. It's his 39th make of the season, and it draws the Weevils within 1. Dunn trapped at the elbow, gets it over to Palmer, now gets it back in the corner. Palmer working inside, and he is fouled going up. He'll go back to the free throw line for 2 shots. That foul is going to be on Marcus Gilbert, his first. That's a 4th team foul. SNU yet to commit a personal foul in this one. Palmer missed his first 2 free throws earlier. Let's see if he can get these to fall. First one is up and in. Hunter Daly into the game for the Weevils. LaSure will take a seat. Daly, a redshirt sophomore, 6 foot from Jesseville, Arkansas. Palmer's second free throw is perfect. And SNU pushes the lead back to 3, 13-10. Daly inside to McBean, and he is shoved on the reception there from Palmer. Monticello will inbound on the baseline. First foul on Palmer, first on the Crimson Storm.
Yeah, those two battling right now, trying to find position. You see them again battling for position. R.J. Palmer doing everything he can.
And Zach Johnson with the deflection and then tracks it down as Daly was slow getting to the ball. Zach Johnson beat him to the spot and he takes it in for the layup. Now Dunn with a deflection and it goes off Hardy out of bounds.
Great defense, 2 straight possessions, those quick hands, being aggressive. You love seeing that. That's what leads to points for this SNU team. That's what allows them to be so explosive, turning defense into offense.
SNU forcing 14.1 turnovers per game. Dunn, smooth all the way to the bucket for the layup.
A beautiful little scoop there from Jonathan Dunn, creating the space and finishing.
And Dunn is going to be called for the blocking foul, shutting off the baseline drive. It's going to be his first, 2nd team foul. Starkey and Spate return. Palmer and Dunn will take a seat. Keelan Jackson into the game now, and Jared Embry will take a seat. Gilbert, kick in the corner to Daly. He's run off the line by Edwards. Hardy, long 2 is off the mark, and Spate with another rebound. That's his 3rd already tonight.
And we talked at the beginning of the broadcast about
Ashton Charles for 3.
Nice shot there from Charles, but as I was saying, talked at the beginning of the broadcast about Jonathan Dunn being able to fill up the stat sheet in so many ways. Micah Spade, another guy who just fills up the stat sheet, doing everything he can to help this team, whether it be points, assists, or rebounds, or a lot of times racking up the steals as well.
Timeout, Arkansas-Monticello, as Ashton Charles gets in on the act with his first 3-pointer of the game. Pushes the SNU lead to 20-10. Ashton Charles certainly has not been lacking for confidence this year, Phil, but shooting just 26% from three-point range, and that's an area that SNU needs him to produce.
Absolutely. He's going to be one of those stretch bigs, and he's got the ability, as we just saw, to knock down those shots, but really has struggled. One of the role players that's been struggling a little bit, especially on the road, him and Logan Hicks we've seen sometimes do such great things here at the Sawyer Center, but really struggle finding the rhythm on the road. And so that's going to be something through the rest of the season. It'll be important for those two to continue building that confidence.
Chris Stevens checks into the game for Edwards. You mentioned Logan Hicks again. Did not play in the past 2 games, has not played so far tonight. As McBean with the swooping left-handed hook shot is in and out, no good. Charles tracks down the miss. And Spate will set up the offense for SNU. Backdoor lob to Chris Stevens. Just missed the alley-oop dunk, but he's unable to track down the loose ball in the corner. Lob maybe just a smidge high there for Chris Stevens, but SNU, that's multiple times they've set up that backdoor lob and have been unable to capitalize yet.
Yep, just missing on it a couple of times. You know this place is ready to explode once they finally connect on that. So expect to see them continuing to look for that and get a little, get this crowd ignited.
DeMontrez Hawes into the game now for the Weevils. LeSure finds himself free for 3, and he missed it. Spate, another rebound. He's fouled by Marcus Gilbert going for the loose ball. That's going to be number 2 on Marcus Gilbert. That's the 5th team foul for Monticello. Ashton Charles will check out. Quaylen Newton back in. Jordan Embry into the game. And Gilbert will take a seat. Newton, long entry pass over to Johnson, and Keelan Jackson nearly came in and stole that one. But no harm, no foul as Zach Johnson controls for SNU. Spate fires it down to Starkey. 3 players for Monticello reach in and knock that ball away from Starkey.
Yeah, Starkey already has 6 points here in this one, 3 for 3 down low, and so you expect to see Monticello crashing inside, doing everything they can to keep him from getting easy looks.
Jackson elevates at the elbow and misses. Newton clears for SNU, and Zach Johnson quickly with it. Spate found himself free on the wing, but Jackson quickly shut that down. Starkey again is doubled, and that foul is going to go against McBean, and that's going to be his 2nd foul. So another foul on the Weevils, 6th team foul, and we will step aside for a moment. SNU maintaining a 10-point lead, 20-10, 7:29 to go here in the first half. We'll be right back after this. SNU inbounding on the baseline, 20 seconds on the shot clock here as they hold a 20-10 lead over Monticello. Backdoor lob on the alley-oop to Quaylen Newton, and he does not miss that one.
Thrown down hard, Quaylen Newton, he got up on that one and threw it down with authority. they'd been looking for that, and they finally connect.
Backdoor cut for Jackson, lost the ball. Embry picks it up and throws it in.
And that will finally end what was an 11-0 run for SNU. Offense for SNU finally starting to kind of come together. Let's see if they can continue that and continue pushing this lead.
Spate wide open at the top of the key, just off, no good, and Jared Embry tracks down the rebound for the Weevils. Spade has struggled to find the offense here since the calendar turned to January. He's just shooting just 30%. And he's attempted 7 threes in each of the past 4 games, and it's hitting just 32% of those as Newton gets free for the reverse layup.
A great find there from Spate, making a move and getting enough space to find Quaylen Newton on the baseline. Great court vision.
SNU doubling up Monticello right now, 24-12. Hawes, very long and off the mark. Dunn clears for SNU. Great bounce feed to Starkey. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Impressive just to get a shot up there by Starkey. You know, his ball was kind of away from him, didn't quite get the handles, but still strong enough to kind of muscle it up, knowing he's going to get fouled and put himself at the line.
First trip to the free throw line for Noah Starkey tonight. Shooting just 68.7% from the foul line this season. That's down from 80.2% a year ago. Stevens checks out, Zach Johnson back in. Hawes out, and Austin Hardy back in for the Weevils. Second free throw is no good for Starkey, but a lane violation on Jordan Embry. Gives Starkey another opportunity here. And Starkey takes advantage of the extra opportunity and hits 2 free throws to push the SNU lead to 14. LeSure tried to wrap the pass around Spate and just threw it out of bounds to no one.
We're starting to see more and more mental errors by the Bull Weevils in this one. The lane violation on one end, and then they throw the ball away on the other end, allowing SNU to grow this lead.
Dunn controlling up top. Now Zach Johnson with it. He'll try a long 3. It's short. And Hardy clears for Monticello. It's never this easy in conference games, but Phil, you'd certainly like to get a big lead and be able to rest some of your big horses. And Jordan Embry is called for the travel down low. You would like to be able to rest some of your horses for Saturday's ranked matchup against Southern Arkansas.
Absolutely. We know Southern Arkansas, a very dangerous team. Right now sitting at 9-1 in the conference and 14-2 overall. Very talented opponents right there. You want to be at full strength for that one, so would be nice to be able to wrap this one up early.
Great ball movement. Swinging around the top. Dunn is very short for the 3, and LeSure comes away with it.
Yeah, surprising to see that. Done plenty of time after great ball movement. Surprising to see him miss as badly as he did.
And SNU up 14, 4:15 to go here in the first half. LeSure drives and kicks out top to Hardy, and he traveled with it. Another turnover for Monticello. That's their 8th turnover. Edwards and Palmer in, Newton and Spate out for the Crimson Storm. Both teams scoreless the past minute and a half. Monticello scoreless the last 3 minutes. Dunn tries a long three. It's no good. Not a great possession there for SNU. Not a lot of ball movement. Zach Johnson being screened off there from Embry. Embry, now he traveled. 3 straight travels for Monticello, something I have not seen in a long time, and that's 3 turnovers in a row gives Monticello 9 for the half. 3:30 to go first half. SNU leading 26-12. We'll take timeout and be right back after this.
Army Reserve soldiers use their skills to make the Army even more capable and gain the tools to make themselves even more successful. Learn how at GoArmyReserve.com.
Welcome back here to the Sawyer Center. Last media timeout before the halftime break. 3:30 to go first half. SNU holding a 26-12 lead. Overall, a 15-2 run over the last 8 minutes or so for SNU, but SNU scoreless themselves over the last 2+ minutes, and Monticello no better the last 3.5 minutes scoreless for the Weevils.
Yeah, the Weevils just continuing to shoot themselves in the foot. And unfortunately, SNU hasn't been able to capitalize as much as you'd like. They've been able to build this 14-point lead, but you'd think they could be up to about 20 by now.
Hardy takes it right at Starkey. Missed it, and he comes down grabbing at his knee, but he looks okay. Jared Embry with the offensive rebound, and he was fouled on the putback attempt, so he will go to the line for 2 free throws. That was the second foul on R.J. Palmer. Just the 3rd team foul for SNU. First free throw is good for Jared Embry. Just his 10th free throw attempt this season. Second one is up and also good. And the first points for Monticello in almost 4 minutes of game action. And SNU will look to push that lead back out. Edwards from the elbow is no good. Starkey tracks down the offensive rebound, puts it up in traffic and scores.
Again, great job on the offensive glass, being able to grab those boards and put up those second chance points. He feeds off of the offensive glass, and we continue to see that in this one.
Hardy on the curl from the foul line, banks it in over Dunn. Spate fires it down low to Starkey. Hardy came to double too late as Starkey turned and just put it in over his left shoulder there.
Yeah, you've got to get there quickly on that double on Starkey. Too late, left him plenty of space on the middle for the hook shot.
Ball deflected out of bounds by Dunn, and SNU will defend with 22 on the shot clock here. 1:59 to go in the first half. Ashton Charles checks in. R.J. Palmer with those 2 fouls will take a seat. Inbounds finds Keelan Jackson. Wide pass of McBean, and another wide pass deflects off the referee. And Spate takes it all the way in and scores.
Spate said, "Thank you very much." I don't know if the referee gets the assist on that one because that ball was flying out of bounds. But right off the referee, Micah Spate takes advantage and goes the other way.
Crazy little sequence there with a couple errant passes from the Weevils. LaSure with it. He'll drive baseline on Starkey, and great job cutting that off. Hardy up top will test Dunn. Dunn is up to the challenge. And a shot clock violation for Monticello, who had absolutely no idea that the shot clock was that low, and a terrific defensive possession there for the Crimson Storm.
A great job. They cut off everything. The Weevils were coming at them, and just as you said, they had no idea the shot clock was where it was. They were not even close to making a move towards the basket when that buzzer went off.
Charles, no hesitation on that three-pointer, and he knocks down another one.
Yeah, just as you said, no hesitation from Charles. Both of his three-point attempts, and he confidently knocks them down. Huge for the Storm team when he's able to hit those kind of shots.
Embry gets free down low and lays it in.
Got lost his man and just sitting wide open on the left side of the basket, and he's right there for the easy two.
27 seconds to go. Ashton Charles down the lane, holds it high, and he's fouled. It's going to go on Jared Emery. That's his first. 8th team foul for Monticello, and Ashton Charles will go to the line for 2. Charles, 65% free throw shooter this year. 15 of 23. He hits the first one. Zach Johnson checks in. Coleman Edwards sits down. And Quaylen Newton at the scorer's table to check in for Charles. And he will do that as Charles exits with 8 points in 5 minutes. Big production there for the sophomore from Klein, Texas. Excuse me, Spring, Texas. He went to Klein Collins High School, though.
Yeah, that is efficiency from Charles. As you said, 8 points, 5 minutes on just 2 field goal attempts. Huge minutes from Ashton Charles, making the most of those minutes as well.
LaSure with the shot clock off will handle it around midcourt, guarded closely by Micah Spate. Jackson shovels it over to McBean, who lays it in with the left hand, and Spate will do the grab and hold. Oh, almost after the buzzer. But a terrific first half performance for the Crimson Storm as they stake themselves to a 17-point lead after 20 minutes. SNU with a 37-20 lead at the break over Arkansas-Monticello. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have first half stats and analysis and get you ready for the second half of action between the Crimson Storm and the Boll Weevils. We'll be back after this.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns to the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th. The Great American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns.
When a customer is on the fence about buying a car, we should
Give him a hug.
No. Next.
Full frontal?
No way. Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
That's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since 19.
is where I use the skills I've learned. This is where the moments I love happen. This is where I grew up, and it's also where I serve.
In the U.S. Army Reserve, you train at least 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Here, you learn the skills to lead and succeed in life while staying close to home. Part-time service, full-time success. GoArmyReserve.com.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. We're at halftime here as the Crimson Storm of all ages are putting on a show tonight, as we see a young fan taking it to some of the students down there, and we've got a ball stuck in the rim on the other end, courtesy of some young fans. So some good family atmosphere all around here at the Sawyer Center. If you want to join us, we would be more than happy to see you out here, especially on Saturday as the Crimson Storm take on Southern Arkansas, and it'll be a top 25 matchup between the Storm and the Mule Riders. That'll be at 3 o'clock, preceded by the women's game at 1 o'clock, of course. So here at halftime, Phil, SNU shot 50% from the field in the first half, and Monticello just 34.8%. And really, that was the story of the first half, in addition to 11 turnovers for the Bull Weevils.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, SNU struggled behind the arc, just 3 of 11, but otherwise shot 50% from the field in that first half, taking great advantage of the opportunities they were given. Noah Starkey, of course, 5 for 5 from the field, put up 12 points. There was no answer for the Weevils to slow him down in that first half. And then on the other side for the Weevils, like you said, 11 turnovers, and a good chunk of those turnovers were unforced errors. A lot of traveling, a lot of balls just thrown wildly out of bounds. We saw one thrown wildly right off the ref, allowed Micah Spate to get an easy 2 on the other side. So just a lot of unforced errors for Arkansas-Monticello, which is what has allowed the Storm to jump out to this 17-point lead.
SNU, like you said, 12 points for Noah Starkey. That leads all scorers in this one. Jonathan Dunn with 7 points, and Ashton Charles 8 points off the bench, 2 for 2 from three-point range and a pair of free throws. And we've talked a lot this season about the production from that 4 position, both with Quaylen Newton out and with him back in the lineup now that he has recovered from that hip injury. And Charles' production is absolutely huge, both in this game and going forward for SNU.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to need his presence off the bench. Obviously, him along with Palmer. Those two guys, you've got to have scoring come off the bench. And whenever you have someone like Charles who's able to come out, and we've seen all season, he does not hesitate to take his shot. And when that shot is falling, he can certainly be a weapon for this Storm team, as we saw in the first half.
For Monticello, they're led in scoring by Jared Embry, 6 points off the bench for him. Keelan Jackson with 5 points, KJ LaSure with 3, and then Jordan, McBean, and Hardy all with 2 points apiece for Monticello. Again, just 20 points in the first half for the Weevils. For SNU, Spate with 2. Zach Johnson had a pair of points and a pair of steals to go along with that. Quaylen Newton with 4 points and 4 rebounds. And R.J. Palmer rounded out the scoring with 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. SNU with 8 assists on their 14 made buckets, and also control the rebounding battle, 17-12. And 5 offensive rebounds. Phil, what do you want to see from SNU here in the second half?
Well, you want to continue to see a lot of effort on the defensive end. They forced some difficult plays from the Weevils, and continue to make life difficult from them on all ends of the court. You want to continue to see that, as well as see some of those role players continue to kind of gain some confidence in this. You got a 17-point lead. You have the opportunity to really take some shots, and you want to see players like maybe Zach Johnson and Ashton Charles, who's already shown the ability in this game, but players like that step up and use this as their own opportunity to take a step forward in their own game.
Starting lineups back on the court for both teams to start the second half. LaSure, as the shot clock ticks down to 5. Double gets it to Jared Embry. He missed it off the iron, no good. And then Dunn traveled with it as he tried to jump to avoid Austin Hardy, who was reaching in for the steal there. And SNU with the quick turnover, and the ball goes back over to Monticello.
Yeah, tough play for Dunn. He did about the only thing he could to avoid the ball getting knocked out of his hands, but at the same time, still a travel, and he was turnover right after a rebound.
Newton is called for the foul as LaSure was looking to drive there, so a quick foul on Quaylen Newton. That's his first team foul. Monticello will inbound from the sideline. Embry on the baseline. Looked like he had a lane to the basket. Instead, turned away. Kicks it back up top to LaSure. McBean straight away for three, and he knocks that one down. Just the third three-point make for the Weevils. First for McBean.
And I believe that was McBean's first three of the entire season. He only shot one this season coming into that one, but he shot that one with confidence straight at the top of the key and knocked it down.
Dunn, a risky pass there. Johnson got it and finds Newton. Bounce pass out to Dunn. He'll penetrate with 7 on the shot clock. Fade away, and a really smooth bucket there for Jonathan Dunn, who got into some trouble but faded right out of it for 2 points for SNU. Crimson Storm leading by 16, 18-20 to go in this one. Hardy straight away for three. That's long. Newton goes high for the rebound for SNU, and Spate will push for the Crimson Storm. Gets inside, kicks done. Newton drives down the lane, spins, floats, in and out, no good. Everything but the finish. Great ball movement on that possession for the Crimson Storm.
Yeah.
Jackson quickly the other way, puts up the shot. It's good, and he is fouled.
Yeah, disappointing for the Storm. Well executed ball movement, just perfect on the offensive end. Just everything but the finish for Quaylen Newton. Allowed for numbers on the other end, and the Weevils are going to get an and one.
That foul goes on Noah Starkey. That's his second team foul. Keelan Jackson at the line. 57.7% free throw shooter, and missed that one badly. Newton clears for SNU, who leads by 14 here early in the second half. Spate hounded by LaSure. He'll drive baseline, floats it up off the glass over Hardy for two.
Great job of utilizing the space that he had there. Micah Spate, nice drive, finding enough room to get it up and off the glass.
Jackson hounded up top by Dunn. Hardy clears Zach Johnson out. Missed the shot, and Johnson has the rebound. A little bit of bumping from Hardy and Johnson as they go down the court. Predictably, the students enjoy it. Bounce pass to Starkey. Pump fakes over Hardy and puts it in over McBean. Great series of post moves there from Noah Starkey.
Yeah, nice job there getting the opening, and then he was met just as he went up, but still the strength to fight through it and finish.
Johnson checking Hardy. Hardy goes baseline, shut off there by Starkey. Embry drives down the lane, puts it up, no good. Gets rebounds deflected around. Hardy finds it, missed the shot. Embry tip, no. Another tip, no. Hardy finally grabs it, missed it again.
Wild sequence there. Nobody could quite get control of it, and even when the Weevils had a chance, they couldn't finish.
And Spate with a big three.
What a turn of events. Weevils had multiple opportunities on one end. All of a sudden, a 5-point swing as Spate knocks down the triple on the other end.
And a timeout for Arkansas-Monticello. And we'll take timeout with them. 16:09 to go here in the second half. SNU's opened up a 21-point lead, 46-25. We'll be right back after this break.
There are those who stand forever ready, ready to defend the nation, ready to fight for what matters, no matter what.
Let's go! Get my round in there!
Do you have what it takes? Find out at goarmy.com/.
Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leading this one 46-25 over Monticello, and a quick start out of the break for SNU. Has pushed a quick 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Let's push this back to a 21-point lead. It's the biggest of the night for the Crimson Storm as the Weevils will inbound here on the near sideline. 26 on the shot clock for the Weevils. Gilbert wide open in the corner for three, and he will knock it down.
Yeah, that's something that the Storm team has struggled with at times, is over-rotating and leave people wide open behind the arc.
Backdoor lob to Quaylen Newton, and he stuffs it down.
That's the second lob Quaylen's gotten in this one. He just kind of faked one way, turned around, and found it right at the rim from Micah Spate. Excellent chemistry between those two.
Embry inside, Starkey with the block. Spate pushing tempo, he wants more. Hesitation dribble, puts it up over Gilbert, and he gets it to go!
I don't know how he got that shot up. Was not the smartest decision, but what a play there. Micah Spate goes for the crossover and then just kind of falling back, throws it up, and gets it to go.
And SNU playing with a ton of energy right now. Gilbert open for three, tried to bank it, no good. Embry got Starkey in the air, and that's going to be another foul on Noah Starkey. And Jordan Embry will go to the line for two, and we've got a timeout on the court. 14:56 to go. SNU wheeling and dealing and having a lot of fun doing it, up 50-28. This is SNU basketball. Back at the Sawyer Center, a very lively and energetic Sawyer Center. Again, this is the first home game for SNU since everyone came back to campus from Christmas break, and the students have turned out in a big way. Both end zones are packed to overflowing, and they have been loud and into this one tonight as Jordan Embry knocks down the first free throw. Just a reminder, Saturday, another doubleheader, men's and women's against Southern Arkansas. Women will tip off at 1 o'clock, and the men match up between two ranked teams. As SNU, number 19 SNU will take on number 22 Southern Arkansas in the men's game at 3 o'clock. We'll have coverage starting at 12:45 for pregame of the women's, and then we'll transition to the matchup between the Crimson Storm and the Mule Riders right after we're done with postgame for the women. McBean reaching in, and Starkey tries to back him down, and he is fouled by McBean. on the floor foul, so that will go to the baseline, and Starkey will check out as Ashton Charles comes back in. First minutes of the second half for Ashton Charles, who had 8 points in the first half in just 5 minutes. DeMontrez Hawes into the game, and McBean will take a seat for Monticello. That's 3 fouls on Kwame McBean. Just the first foul for Monticello here in the second half. Spate inbounding on the baseline. That's going to be a 5-second call on Micah Spate. That seemed like a very fast 5 seconds, and Micah Spate was thinking the same thing.
I was wondering too. I didn't know at first if they called a foul, because my first instinct was that could not have been 5 seconds. Micah Spate didn't agree either, but that was the call.
LaShore drives, stops, tries to get around the towers of Charles and Palmer. No. Spate running quickly with it. Dunn on the block, shovels it off to Charles. He's blocked at the rim, but there's going to foul. They got Jared Embry, or excuse me, yes, Jared Embry on that. Jared and Jordan Embry, identical twins for the Weevils. Charles hits the first free throw, and of course they have to wear both numbers that are 20-something. As the dad of twins myself, I will remind them to not do that.
You got to make it as difficult as possible.
Charles hits them both. He's now in double figures with 10 points. He's perfect tonight. 2 of 2 from 3 and 4 of 4 from the foul line. The lead is 22 for SNU, their biggest of the night. Marcus Gilbert probing, shut down by Jonathan Dunn. Gets it back from Jackson, and he'll try it again. Drives past Charles, stopped, and Charles looked like he might have gotten a piece of it. Embry the rebound. Hook shot in the lane is wild and off the mark, and R.J. Palmer clears, and Micah Spate will bring it up. Spate is taken over here in the second half, 7 points in the second half, and he's got 6 rebounds and 6 assists for the game. A little bit of triple-double flirtation as Jonathan Dunn knocks down the 3 from straight away. His second of the night, and that'll give him 12 points for the game as SNU pushes their lead to 25.
Incredible, 7 for 8. That is 87.5% here in the second half, coming out on fire.
Ball goes through the hands of Embry. Spate tracks it down. Reverse layup is good.
Executed incredibly, and then you see him hustling back and gets his hand in there again. Micah Spate, he was give everything he had to get back and make that play.
Edwards with the lob for Palmer. Palmer was not anticipating that, and Hawes is stuffed at the rim by Charles, but the foul is going to be on Ashton Charles, and Edwards and Palmer having a laugh about the miscommunication there. But if you look over at the sideline, Coach Adam Bohach not sharing in the joy of that miscommunication at all.
Not too happy about that, but I'm sure he was happy to see Spate. You see Spate still trying to catch his breath. His hands are down on his knees after sprinting back the way he did to strip that ball.
Spate will take a seat for a breather and gets the extra oomph pat on the backside from Coach Adam Bohach. Hawes hits the second, and he will check out Jordan Embry into the game. Both Embrys on the court now. Zach Johnson controlling for SNU. Jonathan Dunn drives, puts it up with the left hand and lays it in. SNU having a very nice night offensively against Monticello. Certainly the best offensive showing they've had in a few games here, and ball goes out of bounds over to the Crimson Storm. Logan Hicks into the game for the first time tonight, first time since the win over Harding back on January 12th.
It's a good opportunity. You got a lead like this, trying to gain some confidence back for players like Logan Hicks. Hasn't seen the floor, but an opportunity to regain some trust from the coach in the final minutes of this one.
Charles from the foul line. He's long with that jumper. Gilbert controlling up top, guarded by Coleman Edwards. Now over to Jared Embry. Gilbert driving baseline. He's shut off by Palmer and rejected by Charles. Great help defense for the Crimson Storm. And Edwards brings it up for SNU. He's got options baseline. Palmer goes in for the dunk.
A great find there. Great timing by Palmer to step in and receive that pass and throw it down.
Great spacing on that. The penetration from Edwards drew the triple team. Jackson forces up the three over Hicks. It's no good. Johnson unable to corral the rebound. Then Gilbert dribbles the ball off his foot. Edwards has it. Pushing up ahead. He lobs it. Looked like he was trying to lob it off the backboard to Palmer. But there was a foul on Jared Embry. And that ball will go over to SNU still. And we've got a timeout on the court. 10:41 to go in this one. SNU rolling here at the Sawyer Center, 61-31. We'll be right back after this break.
Okay, guys, remember, no hard selling, no high pressure. Serenading, good. Leave that to Sheldon, all right? Hugs, side hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by...
Army Reserve soldiers use their skills to make the Army even more capable and gain the tools to make themselves even more successful. Learn how at GoArmyReserve.com.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leading this one 61-31. Firmly in control and clicking on all cylinders and having a lot of fun doing it. Shooting 58.5% from the field and have forced 15 turnovers by Monticello, and Coleman Edwards going back to the free throw line. First time tonight for 2 free throws. First one is up and good. And that was actually the first free throw attempt of the season for Coleman Edwards. Edwards, an important piece of this SNU bench, hits both foul shots. But it's been a struggle for him on the offensive end this season. And again, just 30% from the field, 31 from three-point range. And again, those were his first foul shots of the season. But seemingly coming out of that slump to start the year with that 4 of 6 performance from deep against East Central last Saturday. Jackson frees up for 3. It's no good. Rebound tapped around and controlled by Johnson. Gets it back from Charles, and SNU will look to extend their 32-point lead. We're halfway through the second half.
It has been a great start to the second half, building on a good first half now, shooting 77% from the floor in the second half.
And Edwards, playing with a lot of confidence right now, took it right at Marcus Gilbert and put it in off the glass for 2.
And just like that again, an 8-0 run for SNU, just continuing to pour it on.
Jackson probing the right side. Now McBean with it. Gilbert goes baseline. Bounce pass to Embry, and he's going to be fouled by Ashton Charles. As they're going to tag that on. Anytime Monticello's gotten the ball deep in the paint, multiple SNU players have converged on them. Just a really nice job of help defense down low tonight.
Absolutely. That's been one of their main calling cards this season is that post defense, making it so difficult on other teams. Really helps when you've got the size that SNU has, and they are able to use that and take advantage of it.
Edwards will take a seat, and Chris Stevens checks back in for SNU. Keelan Jackson will take a seat, and Austin Hardy checks back in, much to the delight of the student section near the Monticello bench. Zach Johnson and Hardy had gotten into it a little bit earlier as Zach Johnson had shut down a drive from Hardy and had a little something to say about it, and Hardy had something to say back, and the students predictably loved it. Charles lost the pass from Stevens. Ball is deflected off of Hardy, and it will remain with SNU as the SNU student section continues to encourage Austin Hardy there in his play. Stevens gets it into Hicks. 10 on the shot clock now, and Hicks will have to hurry to get a good look at the basket. He'll try a very deep three. It's long. Palmer with the offensive rebound, and he will look to reset for SNU. Charles, no hesitation again. In and out on the three, no good. And LeSure pushing tempo with it, gets it over to Hardy. He'll drive in, floater across the lane, off the glass and in, and
he even gets a little cheer from the SNU student section after that one.
The good old Bronx cheer happens even at a good, wholesome school like SNU. Stevens on the right wing, guarded by Hardy, lobs it inside to Palmer. Hard dribble inside, lost the ball, and LeSure comes away with it for the Weevils. Embry gets it down low, and McBean puts it in over Palmer. Coach Adam Bohach asking Johnson to push a little bit here as quick 6-0 run from the Weevils has pushed the lead back down to 28. Hicks steps into a three. It's no good. Hardy pushing tempo. Wild pass finds Gilbert on the right wing. Quick pass in low to Embry, who takes his time and puts it in with the left hand over Chris Stevens.
A good defense by Chris Stevens right there, just giving up too much size. He did about all he could to make that shot difficult, but too easy in the end for McBean.
Charles up top is fouled on the reach-in by Jordan Embry, and that'll bring us to a stoppage in play. 7:11 to go in this one. SNU firmly in control, up 65-39. We'll take time out with them and be right back after this break. This is SNU basketball. It's all fun and games here in the Sawyer Center as the Crimson Storm are leading this one by 26, 7:11 to go in this one between the Crimson Storm and the Boll Weevils. Brady Mulkey into the game and Morris Wilson into the game for the first time here at the Sawyer Center. Wilson, the freshman from Northwest Classen High School here in Oklahoma City. As Micah Spate pulls the trigger for three and knocks it down straight away. Micah Spate now up to 12 points here in the second half.
We've seen this so often from Micah Spate. After a slow first half in terms of at least scoring, he'll just come out and fire away and just take over in the second half. That's exactly what he's done with 12 points here in the second half.
McBean puts it in over Brady Mulkey and is fouled by Mulkey in the process, so he'll go to the line to complete the three-point play. Once again, Morris Wilson, the first time he's been in action here at the Sawyer Center. He had a wrist injury in the first couple days of practice and was out through December. Did not play here in the first two games in January against Ouachita and Henderson State. We did see action in a couple games in that four-game road stretch the Crimson Storm just finished up. Edwards free for three off the screen from Mulkey. He misses short. Hardy driving through Spate, turns around, and Spate has the rebound off the miss. He's by himself, and he'll take his time setting up the offense here. Screen, floater for Spate, and he puts it in. Micah Spate doing whatever he wants here in the second half, and that's now 14 points in the second half to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists.
Yeah, he continues to be a stat sheet stuffer night in and night out, just leaving his impact on all parts of the game.
Jordan Embry got caught under the basket, was able to force up a shot to draw the foul on Morris Wilson. That's his first. 7th team foul, so Monticello will be in the bonus. Jordan Embry will be shooting 2 here. Embry is 76% free throw shooter for the season. Jared Embry and KJ LaSure into the game. Hicks will come in for Micah Spate. McBean and Gilbert will take a seat for Monticello. Second free throw is also good, and it's probably the last we've seen of Micah Spate tonight as he, Noah Starkey, Jonathan Dunn, and, well, really all the starters, plus Ashton Charles and R.J. Palmer, probably we won't see them the rest of the night. With 5.5 to go, SNU up 26. At least Coach Adam Bohach would prefer not to have to see them again.
Yeah, up 26 with 5.5 minutes to go. You sure hope your bench can finish this one off with no problems.
Hicks in the corner. Edwards drives baseline. 5 on the shot clock. Stevens going to have to hurry. Finds it to Mulkey. He's blocked, and that's a shot clock violation.
Yeah, overall, pretty good ball movement from this unit on that possession. Just unable to find any opening. Great defense kept them from finding what they were looking for. But again, you like that ball movement, being able to work as a team looking for something.
Daly into the game now for Monticello. Embry finds him in the corner. Good closeout there from Logan Hicks. 5 on the shot clock as LaSure going to have to force up a deep shot here. It's long, but the offensive rebound comes down to Daly. Monticello will get another possession. Keelan Jackson a deep 3. That's short, and Mulkey with a good box out picks up the rebound there. Morris Wilson for 3. It's in and out, no good. LaSure up ahead to Daly. Embry with the sweeping left-handed hook. Goes in and out, no good. And Jackson stole the rebound away from Morris Wilson, but stepped on the line trying to save it. And that will take us to a stoppage in play. 3:56 to go in this one. SNU again cruising toward another Great American Conference win. 70-44, the Crimson Storm lead this one. We'll have the finish when we come back after this.
When a customer is on the fence about buying a car, we should
Give him a hug.
No. Next.
Hand hug? Full frontal?
No way. Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
That's terrible.
Diffie, driven by
The
families.
Great American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns to the Bruin Field House in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th.
Final minutes upcoming here from the Sawyer Center's SNU inbounding on the far baseline, up 70-44 over Monticello. Logan Hicks working up against a full court trap here. Lob up ahead to Mulkey is stolen by Jordan Embry, and Embry swings it wide in the corner to Daly for three. It's no good. Keelan Jackson the offensive rebound though, and Monticello gets another possession. Daly will try from the other corner, equally no good. And Stevens comes away with it, and SNU dodges a bullet there. We'll run some clock here with 3:25 to go. Offensive foul on Morris Wilson, pivoting into Hunter Daly on the screen. That's his second and the 8th team foul on SNU.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of mistakes here, and a little bit of a miscommunication among this unit, but that's why you got these guys out there. Give them some game experience. With this one about wrapped up, don't risk your own players getting hurt, your star players, but you have the opportunity to allow these guys to get some minutes. So you're going to see a little bit of wild shots, a little bit of miscommunication, but this is their opportunity to take that step forward and become learn how to become contributors for this team in the years to come.
Embry missed the shot. Wilson the rebound. Logan Hicks comes away with it, fires it up ahead to Mulkey. Mulkey kicks it back out to Chris Stevens, who knocks down the three-pointer from the left wing. First points for SNU in quite some time, as they were one of their last 4 field goal attempts. And Stevens certainly hasn't played a ton here in the second third of the season, as Daly knocks down a 3 in response. Ever since the game against Dallas Baptist out in Hawaii, Chris Stevens averaging just 8 minutes per game for the junior from Rowlett, Texas. He is the team's leading three-point shooter. He's shooting 53.6% from three-point range.
Yeah, earlier in the season, we saw him at times hit some really big key threes, especially in transition, that were big-time momentum shifters. But as you said, not playing as much lately, hasn't quite had that opportunity. But when he has getting the chances he has, he continues to shoot the ball well.
Stevens up ahead, lost the dribble and missed the layup in the process.
I think he was looking to do something big, but just never had control of the ball to be able to do it. And so at the last second, he just had to throw it up and hope for the best.
SNU, a lot of what could have been as far as the highlight tape goes, as Daly drives in and is fouled again by Wilson. That's his third. But when your biggest concern is a bunch of what could have beens on the highlight tape, That's probably a good thing, Phil.
Absolutely. Not too much to complain about other than that in this one. Very well executed, very well played game by this unit. So I think they'll live with those attempts at highlights that just couldn't quite come to be.
Jarrett Cole into the game the first time for Monticello. Free throw is off the mark, no good. So SNU still leads by 26, 73-47. A minute 10 to go in this one. All over but the shouting as SNU will turn around and get ready for a very tough test from number 22, Southern Arkansas, on Saturday here at the Sawyer Center. Again, that game will tip off about 3 o'clock. We'll have full coverage for you beginning with the women's game at 1 o'clock. Embry for 3, it's no good. Stevens with the rebound, and SNU will walk it up. Hicks working on Cole, step back three-pointer, and is called for the travel on the step back with 28.6 seconds left. A complete wire-to-wire win for SNU. They led the entire way. Brief tie early in the game, but aside from that, not really a threat from the Boll Weevils, who have now lost 4 consecutive games. Hawes gets the shot to fall with 7 seconds to go.
Yep, we are seeing a nice bounce back from that really surprising and kind of inexcusable loss to Arkansas Tech earlier, but this will be 4 straight wins for the Storm, including a really nice one against OBU and then some blowouts to go along with that. So we're seeing nice bounce back from SNU as we dive deeper into conference play.
73-49, the final score here from the Sawyer Center. SNU, the winners once again here on their home court. And Phil, the key here was that big stretch right at the beginning of the second half. SNU came out on fire. Micah Spate was huge in the second half, and they just built an insurmountable lead over the Weevils there.
Absolutely. They came out there in the second half and said that we are going to put this game away, and they certainly did. You know, they started out that second half 7 for 8 from the field. They could not miss, and as you said, Micah Spate was the catalyst for that, scoring 14 points in the second half. Overall, 16 points to go along with 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Just every game, it seems like he impacts the game in so many different ways, and he has just been a spark plug, a catalyst, just an overall leader for this team. And so a great team win here on the Sawyer Center and getting ready for their big matchup coming up on Saturday.
Going over the final numbers here, SNU finished the game at 51% shooting. They were 7 of 20 from three-point range. 2 makes each for Ashton Charles, Jonathan Dunn, and Micah Spate. And Chris Stevens knocked down his lone three-point attempt as well. They were just 10-12 from the foul line, just those 12 attempts. Won the rebounding battle, 36-32, and had 13 assists on their 28 made baskets, again led by Micah Spate, 6. They forced 16 turnovers tonight while only turning the ball over 12 times themselves. And just a really even performance across the board for SNU. 4 players in double figures. Micah Spate with 16, Jonathan Dunn and Noah Starkey with 14 each. Starkey perfect from the field, 6 of 6, and 2 of 2 from the foul line. Then Ashton Charles with 10 points off the bench in some big minutes for the sophomore. RJ Palmer and Coleman Edwards with 4 points each, and Chris Stevens with 3 points. Quaylen Newton had 6 points and 6 rebounds, and Zach Johnson with 2 points. The Boll Weevils were led by Jordan Embry with 10 points, and Kwame McBean also chipped in with 10 points. Jared Embry had 6 points, Keelan Jackson 7 points, then a quartet of Boll Weevils with 3 points, and Austin Hardy, fan favorite Austin Hardy, with 4 points for the Boll Weevils. So, Phil, looking ahead to Saturday, just a huge matchup for the Crimson Storm. The first time that the Great American Conference has had two teams ranked in the top 25 at the same time, and we get to see them play each other on Saturday here at the Sawyer Center. What can we expect from that matchup?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be an exciting matchup here on Saturday. Just as you said, call it a historic matchup for the Great American Conference. These two teams meeting up, one of the biggest games we've seen here at the Sawyer Center between Southern Arkansas and Southern Nazarene. You've got top two teams in the conference. Southern Arkansas looking to take control of the conference. If they're able to beat SNU on Saturday, all of a sudden they have a 2-game lead in the conference. But if SNU can win that one, then they move themselves into a tie. So we're going to see a lot of excitement. There's probably going to be a lot of emotions that we're going to see. Expect to have a very hyped crowd, even more so than tonight. A lot of high-flying action. It's going to be exciting to watch on Saturday.
So again, the final score here tonight, 73-49 SNU over Arkansas-Monticello. That's the first time SNU has held an opponent under 50 points so far this season. Flirted with it a little bit as far as the exhibition, gave up 52 to Sterling, but the next closest was, looks like, running down the stat sheet here, was 55 against Oklahoma Christian back on November 19th. So a new season low in points allowed for the Crimson Storm with just 49. And again, Arkansas-Monticello shot just 29.8% from the field, 5 of 19 from three-point range, and they were 10 of 13 from the foul line. So again, SNU moving to 16-3, 9-2 overall in conference play. And we'll step aside for just a moment, and when we come back, we will be joined by Micah Spate and head coach Adam Bohach. We'll get their thoughts on tonight's game and wrap things up from the Sawyer Center. This is SNU basketball. Hey, welcome back to the Sawyer Center after SNU's 73-49 win over Arkansas-Monticello. We're joined by junior guard Micah Spate, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. And Micah getting a little close with the triple-double there tonight, bud.
Appreciate it. Just trying to do whatever it takes to help my team win. I'm all for it, no matter what it is. So
you kind of took over the game there about midway through the second half with plays on both ends. What was kind of going through your mind? Were there just opportunities open for you there?
Just my teammates gassing me up. When I mean by gassing me up, just giving me confidence, just telling me to stay aggressive. They tell me I always got my back, so just play hard. And when they tell me that just gives me the confidence and freedom just to play hard. So.
It's been a little bit of a tough shooting month for you so far, the last few games. And what's that been like, kind of working through some of those struggles?
Just my team, like I've been saying, they've always told me to keep shooting, don't let it get to me. I mean, at the end of the day, it's bigger than me. It's about the team. So whatever it is for them, like even if that's just playing defense, whatever it takes. I mean, I know my shots haven't been falling, but that hasn't stopped me from shooting the ball because my teammates just believe in me. Coaching staff believes in me, and that gives anybody the confidence to just go out and play every night like hard. So.
Absolutely. You guys got key contributions from everybody tonight, especially Ashton Charles, 10 points off the bench. How big is it for him for his confidence to be able to produce like that on a nightly basis?
It's huge. I mean, we share, we talk to each other all the time, just giving each other like confidence, just talking highly to one another. I mean, even when things aren't going good, we still encourage one another because we know like it'll go on. We know what we're all capable of. So as long as we know that, that gives us like each other the confidence to go out and perform. So.
Huge matchup on Saturday with a ranked Southern Arkansas team coming in here. How excited do you guys get for these big games that come about every so often?
I say we get very excited, but we know what it takes because we've been there, we've been at the top. We know what it takes, so just sticking together, holding each other accountable tomorrow at practice, and then Saturday during the game, just stick with one another, and then the fans. Can't thank them enough. That was crazy environment tonight. Probably couldn't do it without them, so we really appreciate that.
We look forward to another unique atmosphere on Saturday. Micah, thanks for your time, and we'll take a short break and get head coach Adam Bohach in here for his thoughts after SNU's big win over Arkansas-Monticello tonight.
Appreciate you.
And we're joined now by head coach Adam Bohach to talk about SNU's 73-49 win over the Weevils. And, Coach, a good even performance across the board for you guys, one of your best offensive showings in a little while.
Yeah, I thought it was good. A lot of different guys did a lot of things to help tonight. And what an awesome crowd. Big shout-out and thank you to James and his folks in the SID department, and then Coach Derek Taylor with advertising, getting all that orchestrated and organized and then pulling it off. I thought tonight, fantastic environment.
Absolutely, and Coach, you got a balanced performance, especially from Micah Spade, who really took things over there early in the second half and put this one out of reach for Monticello.
Yeah, he was great in transition, finding the right guys and playing with really good pace. And, he's pretty good when he shakes loose like that and guys are running with him. And, this place gets going, and that's probably when we're at our best.
Now, you guys, Starkey was big inside as well, and how nice is it to, especially with Ashton Charles coming off the bench and stroking it very confidently, how big is that for you guys going forward to have consistent contribution from him?
Yeah, I mean, the bench is huge, right? I mean, that's a big part of who we are and who we've always been, and what makes us, who we are and who we think we can become. And it was good to see Ash. I think you nailed it, Luke, is that he played with confidence tonight. He got it and was stepping into his shots and had some really good hedges defensively. And I thought he showed up at the rim several times, his length, and affected things, on that end of the court as well. And maybe that's what kick-started him. He probably did those things before he made a basket. And so that was really encouraging.
Now, defensively, you guys were terrific as well. 16 forced turnovers. Monticello shot 30% from the floor, and it looked like you guys did a terrific job bringing in help defense down low. What went into that defensive game plan?
Yeah, I thought the guys played hard, played together. They were talking out there and, busy and active hands and helping one another out. And, the first half I thought we did a pretty good job of getting the first rebound, and then the second half not so much, and so that was why they were able to get 29 there the second half, was they chased down and kept playing hard. Credit to them for continuing to chase it on the O-glass, and we didn't do as good a job the second half of keeping them from getting the missed shots.
Now you guys have a huge matchup on Saturday against Southern Arkansas, and a huge opportunity for you guys to, again, have a terrific crowd here with another ranked team coming in. How exciting is it to be able to play games like that here at home?
Yeah, I mean, what a treat, right? I think I saw on the Great American website, this is the first time our league has had 2 ranked teams, and then it happens to be the week we play, so that's awesome. It's great for our league, and it's probably overdue. Southern Ark has a great team and has had a tremendous season, and so I know our guys will put in a good day of prep tomorrow, and we'll be looking forward to playing really hard and hopefully really well on Saturday.
How difficult is it with the way the schedule sets up that you really only have one full day to prep for Southern Arkansas?
Yeah,
it's the way the schedule falls.
Yeah, it's the way it works, and we'll take advantage of it. They only have one day too, right? So it's a fair fight, and we'll be excited to get in here tomorrow and get to work and see if we can put something together and be ready to roll on Saturday.
With that, just curious from a game playing standpoint, what does that normally affect more as far as does it make it people just don't know quite as much, or do they try to cram too much in there?
Yeah, that's a great question, Luke. I think that's the balance you're trying to walk, right, is, you have all this information, and both teams have all the information about each other, and then how do you break that down and make it digestible, and what parts are the most important, and how do your guys receive it? And, I think that's a big part of the Saturday's contest will be tomorrow in practice of how well we practice.
Coach, thank you for your time. We look forward to another great atmosphere here at the Sawyer Center on Saturday. Again, tip time for that game will be at 3 o'clock. We'll have pregame for the women's game, which tips off at 1 starting at 12:45, and then immediately following that we'll transition to number 19 SNU and number 22 Southern Arkansas. We look forward to seeing you there. If you're unable to make it to the Sawyer Center, we hope you'll join us here on the live stream. Again, for Phil Younts, I'm Luke McConnell, and we'll see you on Saturday.